Hi, this is John here, and today we are going to talk about content creation. I specialize more in Facebook posts, especially text. I still prefer social media posts in Facebook because it allows me to write, and I'm someone who loves to write. So if you are someone who loves to write as well, this video is meant for you. So normally, how do we generate or create social media content? Most of the social media contents I read tend to be quite flat in the sense of this is what I do, these are the results, and sign up now. And it's like shouting right into your face how good they are. There is no story build up, and there is no emotion, engagement, context, and it's just telling you this is what I have, sign up now, and that's it. I think it's a very lazy way of trying to get sales. A very simple framework you can use is the hero's journey, and it basically goes like this. So if you have ever watched Disney movies, most of them start off with a story and literally drop you right in the middle of action. Here is what we call conflict or struggle or tension. Then later on, it roughly show you the backstory. This is how they build up the character. This story build up in terms of character and environment as specific as possible, because with specificity, you are somehow like sucked into the story. And a bit of sharing on this struggle, why this works is because when there are a lot of questions, this creates anxiety and makes you want to get to know more about the story. Or for social media posts, it'll be very much of you want to know more about the post, so it sucks you into reading it. So the other one, then you want to also share about deep. So it's a recollection of, oh, there's this character, and then it start to experience the deep or the struggle, and it got to a deeper problem. And I like to do this is because this actually creates more tension. I thought it's really bad enough, and why is it now it got worse? And after you're done with this, you want to talk about how the character start to transform. So this one is the transformation journey. You also want to share the transformation journey. What did the character do? What did the character learn? Then following that, you want to share lesson of the story. Why? Because it really depends on your intention of the story build up. You want to end off with a lesson that is tie in with the purpose of sharing this story. And this is something that most people miss out, and I think it really is a pity if you don't go a level deep. And this actually differentiates average writer to experts. You want to share about your insights. This is the main thing that connects you to your audience. This builds brand loyalty and pulls your audience closer to you. These are just a few stages. I want to share with you a framework that you can use right now. Starting off with tension, then you build up the character using specific character, scene, environment, or what they call FAST, feelings, actions, speech, thoughts. And then you go for another deep because it creates more tension. Do not leave the reader hanging because then there's no closure. Social media posts should have some closure, and to encourage them to read some. And then you need to talk about the transformation, what the character had a realization or epiphany, what did the character realize, and that got him onto a journey of transformation. Then next is about the lesson learned, and the thing that differentiate average writer to advanced writer will be insight of the writer, your insights. So you may ask me like, John, do I have so much content to write? So I'm going to break down 3 kinds of content that you can write, and you can vary it. So what are the 3 kinds? We have the K, we have the L, and we have the T. The K will be write content that get your audience to know a bit more about you. L will be write content that help your audience to like you a bit more. And then the third one will be write content that help your audience to trust you a bit more. If you are a tutor, what is one piece of content that you can get your audience to know? The normal ones will be testimonials. By looking at real results, they get to know that you deliver. When you are able to share real transformation, your audience will be able to trust that you can deliver. That goes for fitness coach, financial coach, trainers as well. You want to share a bit of what you do and the kind of results that you've gotten for your clients. But again, the funny thing is most people are stuck here and just keep on showing testimonials. It gets very predictable and very mundane. What else can you write to your audience know you a bit more? What other roles do you play in your life? Are you a loving father? Are you a parents first? And you can share stories about how you are as a loving husband or loving father. One of the ways to self-brag, because being Asian, we don't like to share our success. We can use stories to share to help the reader to understand who we really are. So for example, instead of saying that you are a loving husband, you can share how through the normal daily routine, you help your wife to or spouse to prepare her breakfast, or how you make sure that her needs are met, or you actually drove like an hour after work, even though you are very tired, to buy her favorite cake because you knew that she had a long day and it's meant to be a surprise for her. It can also be some form of transparency marketing, meaning that you can, as you are developing your math worksheets or Chinese materials or English books, you can share with your audience the journey of your backstory, what is happening in the backstage as you create your material from page 1. So more like a backstage. Have you ever learned or seen Netflix videos of like backstage of BTS or Blackpink? The more you get to know about their backstories, and this backstage can also be over here. And I think sharing all these things like behind the stage creates that kind of transparency that I actually know you, even though I do not know you in person, but I do know your struggles, your challenges, your inner struggle. It makes me actually like you even more because it feels like you're just like me. Other than that, you can also share your insights about the latest news. If you see an accident and it appears in some news website, you can talk about it. You can share your views on that. So for example, if it's a car accident, you can share about the importance of driving safely, because when you're able to bring it into a deeper level, it's not just about the accident, it's about being responsible for our own life so that we can continue to be there for our children, to be there for our spouse, to be there for our parents. Can you see how I actually bring you deeper into sharing deeper insights? And that's what differentiates average writer to awesome writers. I think somehow as you write more, you will realize that you can't really categorize and have clear boundaries, because some content, even though when you write, is meant to get your audience to know more about you. Before I end off this content creation video, you want to talk about values, because values alignment is what connect people. It's about, if I believe in taking good care of my parents, probably if you read a piece about how I take good care of my parents, you will trust me more, you like me more. Alright, having said that, I realized that I need to talk a bit on AI, right? So for AI, you can consider using Claude, and you can compile at least 20 to 30 pieces of your past content that have high engagement, have good comments, have good conversation in the comment section. I compile about, I think, 50 pieces into a single PDF and put under project as a knowledge base. And this is only for Pro plan, the one that costs $29 a month. Then you can get to write out a prompt so that you can use it multiple times. Claude, I want you to create a prompt that can recreate content with my inputs based on my style, tone, sentence structure, my way of writing, and whatever you think important. Create a prompt that I can put into a project so that I can recreate similar content with my own voice. The other thing that you want to consider will be, if you want to type, for iPhone you can use Whisper, which is a free app, WHISPR, there's no E. Or you can use the Notes app, press it, it will transcribe what you have said. So this is the inbuilt voice to text feature of Notes app inside your iPhone. You can copy and paste the text into the Claude project, assuming that you have done, and then you just click enter, and then you churn out the post. And of course, it's an ongoing process. I have used about a year to have my final prompt that is nicely done and it's written in my own voice. And then again, you can ask Claude to change or to tweak or to modify any parts that you don't like. So I hope this video helps you in the content creation, and I will see you in the next lesson.